Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic. At what moment did you realize fuck I'm old? Coming around the corner of a department store and seeing my dad come around the corner at the same time. It was a mirror. I occasionally say things and hear my father's voice coming out of my mouth. I even notice I have the same half smile he does when I think I'm being clever. It's worrisome. Same for me. I'll say something then think holy hell I sounded exactly like dad. When I'm signing up for an account on a website, I have to scroll back pretty far to find my birth year now. According to most websites I was born on January 1st, 1901. Oldest human was 122, so there is a chance you aren't lying at all. When I fell down at work and no one laughed. Instead 3 people came running over to make sure I was okay. I never thought of it that way. When you're a teenager and someone falls, it's the funniest shit ever. Holy shit, this is depressing. Oh shmy, I laughed so hard at this. Thank you Jellabellamom. Instead of growing facial hair to look older, I'm shaving it to look younger. 27 here and still shaving to look older instead of looking like a 16-year-old who is trying to grow his first beard. I saw a picture on Facebook of a friend from college and thought, damn, he got fat and old. I immediately realized. I also got fat and old. My 2 New Year's resolutions are, #1, get back into the shape I was before the accident, #2, stop referring to letting myself go and getting fat as the accident. I didn't do it on purpose though. It was an accident. I'll add mine since it was the reason I thought to ask this question. Last week I sneezed and it threw my back out. If it makes you feel better, I was 19 when that happened to me. I was so embarrassed I told Eva I was helping my mom move something heavy when it happened. You'll be making up excuses till you die for stuff like this. I used to drive for Uber and one night I realized the college girls I picked up could have been my adult daughters. I had something similar, but realized the college girls were too young for my children. Damn. I'm 22 now, and I have no idea how that feels. That's such a weird thought. They played Green Day and The Offspring on the classic rock radio station. Then the announcer says something about it being released on this day 20 years ago. WTF. Oasis, what's the story, Morning Glory. Just turned 25 years old 2 weeks ago. You know you're old when The Offspring actually have offspring and Billie Joe Armstrong drops the kids off at Green Daycare. Billie Joe's kids are college age. When I see popular Reddit posts mentioning celebrities with weird-ass names and I'm like, who the fuck are these people? This isn't just age, it's also a product of the internet era. It used to be that everyone watched the same shows on the same few channels or listened to the same few radio stations, or whatever, so everyone knew the same celebrities. In this age where the monoculture has been shattered, everyone is watching different shows on Netflix, YouTube, Etsy, it's so much easier to find niches, no one knows the same set of celebrities anymore. For me this is the trending tab on YouTube. There are days when outside of the lone sports clip on there, I don't know a single person / group on there. And usually these folks have millions of subscribers. Shit is wild these days. I had to explain to someone how we used to organize meeting up before cell phones became a thing. That and having to use encyclopedias and other books to complete homework. I'm mid-30s. The reactions I was getting, it was like I was explaining how to split an atom using 2 sporks. I was literally just talking to my friend about that. Neither of us could wrap our heads around how you'd plan anything. If someone didn't show up to your meetup, did you just assume they couldn't make it? How could you even call if there were a change of plans if you weren't at home to use the phone? Well, a lot of times you'd just wait as long as you were willing to. Usually an hour was most people's absolute maximum. You might try to call their house on a payphone if there was one. There wouldn't be a change of plans either. Once you made a plan you had to stick to it, and if something came up you had to work hard to make sure you still made it on time. You couldn't change plans if something came up. This is a major cultural difference between the younger generation S and older ones, and I think it causes a lot of problems. This is why older people make such a big deal about being reliable and making plans. Because if you weren't, someone might literally be sitting in a parking lot waiting for your ass for 30 minutes. And they would be rightfully pissed. When my son could outrun me. I went obstacle course running with my oldest, 6 years at that time, and he asked if we could still be doing that in 10 years. I told him I would be 50, so sure. You know what that little shit said? Cool, I will hold back for you, Dad. He is probably right, but I will keep training to not make it easy for him to pass me. LOL, I was 36 when my son was born. I hated it when the neighborhood softball team wanted him over me. When I find myself grunting and groaning just to bend over to tie my shoes. Yo, I do this and I'm 21. The struggle is real. When I was in my late 2020s, I dated a girl who had a daughter. The daughter and I got along great, played a bunch of Katamari together, etc. Years later, that girl and I have long since broken up. I did some volunteer teaching at one of the local alternative schools with my wife. And one of students in the film class we taught was my ex-girlfriend's daughter, now 18 years old. At some point in your life, whether you have kids or not, you realize you're technically old enough to be a grandparent. And that feels very old. Over the summer I was reading about a teenager who had been killed. He was survived by a daughter and his 33-year-old mother. Now, this isn't normal overall by any means, but I still stopped to think how this woman was not only a grandmother but could have been a senior in high school when I was a freshman. When I overheard my teenage niece and her friends taking the piss out of things millennials say. Ha ha ha, my sister is 19 and she's been keeping me abreast of the millennials are corny jokes. I had no idea we were suddenly so fucking old and uncool. Apparently millennials went from kids these days to my uncool dad in like 2 years. I have kids and thought I'd be a cool dad. I know for a fact now that my kids are going to think I'm just as much of an embarrassment as I found my own parents. Listen here, you little shits. Hey. You watch your fucking mouth. I just turned 30 and got a hemorrhoid instantly. Also, I have no idea how to spell hemorrhoid. Allow me to help you, hemorrhoid. Thanks, spelling it's a real pain in the ass. When I went to a music festival and slept in a tent after 5 or so years of not doing so. My God. I need to get home and take a real shower. Truth. I slept on an air mattress for the first time in years and holy hell did I ache the next day. Gone are the days I could fall asleep on cold concrete contorted like the best circus act and wake up feeling as refreshed as a spring chicken. Right. In many ways I am still enjoying the same things I did when I was younger, but the sleep. It's just not the same. I was playing basketball alone and a bunch of kids smashed a beer bottle on the other side of the court just for fun. I shouted at them, told them to pick up the pieces and warned them not to do that shit ever again. They got scared shirtless and apologized. I had never felt older. Shirtless. You motherfucker. Who smashes shit for fun? Fucking youths. Dude, we have all been there though, right? Like the amount of just stupid shit I would do as a kid is amazing. I would 100% be on my own ass for it, but as a kid you just straight up don't think about things. When I mentioned Mr. T to my wife's friend and she had no clue who I was talking about. Did you pity the fool? They all pitied me. So yes. I had a colleague who asked what a MacGyver was. Did you make a TV out of a paperclip and rubber band to show them? I was teaching a class last week and told my audience that they may need to MacGyver a solution if they come upon a certain problem. No one knew what that meant. Because someone asked, it was an EMT refresher course. These are the people you trust with your life. I was born in 1999 and, while I've never actually watched it, I'm well aware of what that means. Now that's just sad. Everyone should know and appreciate MacGyver. Getting excited over things like a new vacuum, new water heater, or a not plastic silverware tray. Realizing the Linkin Park album I like is 20 years old. Laughing when someone invites me out, especially if the start of the event is 9 p.m. It's even funnier when you're so old you forget. It's Linkin Park. It's even funnier when you're so old you forget it's Linkin Park. In the end it doesn't even matter. New vacuum excitement is no joke. I bought a Dyson a couple of years ago and it was life-altering. Also, 9 p.m. start time is legit relatable. That's like an hour away from bedtime. Nobody got time for that. At least past 30. When I spotted a grey pubic hair, oddly this bothered me more than the grey hairs on my scalp. A what now? Is this a thing? Yeah dude. Your dick is going to look old as fuck. Grey pubes, wrinkles on your nuts so deep you can hide a coin in there, and your balls are going to sag. You think titties get saggy with old age? You ain't seen a thigh yet. You'll have to wear underwear just to make sure you don't accidentally sit on your old man nuts and tweak your back jumping up. As you get older, you'll have to urinate with increasing frequency and decreasing volume until you just dribble a bit every time you move. When you come, dust will come out. The slats in folding wooden beach chairs will present a mortal danger, and unsticking your balls from your inner thigh will produce a sound akin to Velcro. You'll be able to do a passable impression of a flying squirrel. You will learn to appreciate the sensation of farting your balls out of the way. If you jump from a height greater than 1 foot, your balls will snap downward in a horrifying mockery of bungee jumping. If you're ever forced to choose between running in boxers and immediate execution, you'll need to seriously consider your options. Poseidon's kiss will become a regular occurrence. As it is written, so shall it be.